Hey guys, so today we're going to be custom blending some makeup colors, and I've already applied a bunch of products to my face, and then I stopped with the eyeshadow primer and my eyebrows. Those were the last two things I put on, but I already have on foundation, blush, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to begin with the eyeshadows. We're going to custom blend some colors and see what we get. This is just something fun to do once in a while to create a color that you don't already have. And sometimes maybe like you'll do an eyeshadow look and then you have a certain color in mind that you want to do for your lips and you don't have that exact shade in your collection. So you can create that color by mixing different lipsticks together. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so I'm going to begin with the eyeshadows. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take MAC ricepaper, which is just a really pretty gold color, and I'm going to take this NYX number 16 blending brush, and I'm just going to dust that all over my entire eye area. I've already primed my eyes with MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot because what I'm doing today is warm toned, so that's why I used soft ochre. And I'm also going to just go in a corner too. I did have a lipstick the color that I wanted to use, but I'm so into liquid lipsticks now that I really wanted to use a liquid lipstick, and since I didn't have the exact shade that I needed, I decided, well, I'm gonna custom blend it and make it myself. And then I'll show you what lipstick I did have that was the right color. That way you can use either one if you like the way this look turns out. By the way, I have already played around with mixing the colors, but I have not seen what this look is going to look like on. So it's going to be as big of a surprise to me as it will be to you. So we'll find out together. Okay, so I just dusted some rice paper all over the eye area. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take MAC Amber Lights, which is a golden copper, I would say. I'm going to take MAC Bronze, which is obviously a bronze. And I'm going to take Makeup Geek Burlesque, which is a burgundy. And I'm just going to dip my brush in all three shadows to create one shadow color. So first I'm going to go into Amber Lights, then Bronze, then Burgundy. And I'm going to lightly dust that on my lids. And my intention today was to do a one eyeshadow look. So I'm also going to take that into the crease, and I'm going to start in the outer corner just with what is left on the brush, and small circles go inward. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to very, very lightly as possible, just sort of tap my brush now into all three colors, because I don't want a lot more pigment, but I can't leave it all sketchy like that either. So I'm going to try to fill in the blanks and just sort of stipple it into the areas that didn't get enough coverage. So I just very lightly tap those eyeshadows again. I'm just gonna kind of stipple on the outside here. Okay, all right, let's do the other eye. This time I'm gonna dip my brush much harder into the three colors, except for the burgundy. I give that a little bit less of a tap because that color tends to transfer more. Okay, now I want the shape to be somewhat similar on both eyes, and I think I kind of like, I think I like this one better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take an e.l.f. C brush and I'm going to blend out the edges on this side and try to make it match the other one. All right. I see sort of a concentration of color there, so I'm going to go back to my blending brush and try to blend that area there. There we go. Now it's blended. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ColourPop eyeshadow, and this is called Stay Golden, even though it's red. And I'm going to use a Zoeva pencil brush. And I'm going to drag some of that along the lower lash line. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Kohl Coloricon kohl eyeliner in Taupe of the Morning, and I'm going to put some of that on the waterline. And it's just like a light golden beige color. It's very subtle. Then I'm going to take a CoverGirl eyeliner, and this is in Copper Ink from the Ink It line. And I'm going to put this right at the root of the lashes. So this is just a copper eyeliner. And I'm going to take Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. Apply that to my lower lashes. And then I'm going to take Maybelline The Colossal Spider Effect mascara and apply that to my top lashes. So even though we only used one eyeshadow color, because I blended three together, it almost gave it sort of a duochrome type effect, because see how it looks like it's one color here and then another color on the lids? Oh, actually, now that I'm looking at it, this eye came out more burgundy, didn't it, on the lid? And this one looks more golden. All right, we're gonna have to fix that. And let's give the mascara a second to dry before I start going in messing with the eyeshadows again. Glad I noticed that. Okay, so I'm gonna still pick up all three colors, but there we go. Okay, this one still looks more burgundy, so why don't I take just some amber lights, because that's like the golden copper shade, and put that on the lid. There we go, that's better. It's still not perfect, but you know, unless you're really scrutinizing it, I don't think you would notice. Let's try just a little bit more. Okay. All right, now we're gonna move on to the lips. So the shade that I was trying to make was that Stay Golden color from ColourPop. I really wanted to do a lip shade that color. The closest thing I have in my collection is Marc Jacobs Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and this is a miniature sample type thing. This was last year's Sephora birthday present, and that is pretty close. But like I said, I really wanted to use a liquid lipstick, and I looked through all my liquid lipsticks and I didn't have one that color, so I thought, I'm gonna make one that color. So after experimenting this morning on the back of my hand, what I came up with is I'm gonna use two of the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit matte liquid lipsticks. I'm gonna mix Rebel Rose and Give Me Mocha, and that is going to give me that color. So let's start with Give Me Mocha. I'm going to put a little bit of that on. I'm going to wipe the excess off the doe foot applicator as much as I can, because if you put a regular amount of product on and you try to put something else on, it's going to get all goopy and messy, and that wouldn't work. So let's start with this. So I'm just very lightly running this over my lips. Just trying to make it even. And then I'm going to take a very light layering of the Rebel Rose and put that on top. And that should give me the color I'm after. All right, let's see how we did. Pretty close. It's not quite as deep, but pretty close. And then let's see how it compares to that Marc Jacobs one. Same situation. The Marc Jacobs one is deeper and darker. But since I have sort of a strong eye look going on, maybe it's good that I went a little more muted on the lips. So that is it. So I just wanted to show you some custom blending, and I mean, you could really go crazy with this. You could have a lot of fun with taking different brands of eyeshadow, and like I took one Makeup Geek and two MACs and mixed the three together, and you know, mixing your lipsticks and liquid lipsticks, and it's just fun. So a lot of you probably do this already, but if you don't, try it. You know, it's something different, and this will sort of fuel your imagination and creativity, and it will give you way more colors to choose from in your makeup collection. So that's it for today, you guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Wait, don't hit the stop button. Well, almost everybody is probably already gone. I just wanted to show you that I felt like the eye look wasn't quite right. So I went in and I took a burgundy liner and ran that along the roots of my lower lashes. Then I took a black liner and put that right above that. And then I just put the black liner on the top. And I think that it really needed that definition to pull the color together. I think it makes a big difference. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Bye-bye.